Hello everybody and welcome to game 2 of Tempered Chickens versus Challengers in Disguise. So, after watching that first game, after Oriana, well, the entire team of Tempered Chickens coming back from what, 7k gold lead to winning it with what, a 7k gold lead, that was something that I feel Challengers in Disguise definitely going to work on. I don't know if they're going to be going for the same thing, I don't know if Challengers in Disguise are going to go for an early team again. I don't know if they're going to try and possibly do a different team combo. Yes, it's banned out. As is Dr. Mundo, so actually 2 bans used on... Well, no, 1 ban, sorry, on Ardenth. And the Sona ban, which was a huge factor in their team comp last time. The Sona ult crescendo into the Shockwave. Devastated Challengers in Disguise that game.
I think at this point, I'm kind of surprised by Lee Sin ban. I think that I'm very happy that Challengers in Disguise did not go ahead and ban Lee Sin or Kha'Zix, because even though Tempered Chickens won, Kuknik, like Kuknik, however he pronounces it, I'm sorry if I slaughtered it for you. Kuknik, not to offend anyone, but he did not play as well as you expect from someone who plays a lot of Kha'Zix and gets Kha'Zix into this kind of team. He should have been able to do more on bot lane and on mid lane. So I think he missed out on a lot of situations. He evolved his wings when they were ahead, in which case he should have just evolved his spikes so they can just move away easier. They can group as 5. He can slow in an AoE. They can retreat and they can avoid the fights instead of him just jumping around a little bit more, and he won't get any resets anyway at that point. So I really don't see why he evolved at first. It was just strange to me.
And as you said at the very end of that last game, if you ban out Tosaka's Yasuo, you're going to get hit by the Syndra balls. And if Syndra isn't the best choice, he's going to be going for the Oriana, which we saw last game. So it will actually be the Syndra locked in. He's going to be laning against Fizz, and Jarvan looks to be locked in for the Singleton in the jungle.
This can go either way. This is a very interesting mid lane matchup you have to watch out for. If Fizz gets rolling, if Fizz doesn't get punished in the earlier levels, then, well, he will just snowball out of control. He should be able to one-shot Syndra solo and just drop her dead. However, if Tosaka plays this right, and if I know Tosaka right from watching him playing against him, he will be having Wolfemus by his balls for the first 10 minutes of the game.
By Wolfemus's balls or by Syndra's balls?
By Wolfemus balls. Sadly. Maybe a combination. I said balls. At this point, like, if Wolfemus wants to kill a minion, then he will have to fight Tosaka to be able to get to that minion. He will not get anything for free. Never, ever.
Remember guys, Ohana means family and minions are family. And family means no one gets left behind. You want to kill my minion? I'm going to kill you first. But Irelia are going to be locked into the top lane. And Irelia just pretty much going to be picked to try and keep the Maokai down. Maokai was kind of on the rampage. Did end up going, I believe, 8-2 and 8 at the end of the last game. So he was definitely giving Tempered Chickens, you know, a run for their money in that early part of the mid-game. Irelia are going to try and keep the Maokai down, and Lucian, the big black guy, even though he was nerfed in the 4.19 patch, still one of the strongest AD carries out there.
Very small of a nerf, to be fair, and it didn't really affect his laning phase in any way whatsoever. So he's still as dominant as before. I was just about to say, I do not want to see a Tristana pick here, even if the lane swap didn't play around it like they should have. A Vayne pick? That may very well work out. If you want any AD carry that can handle Irelia, Well, Vayne does it quite well. She has the self-peel, she has the percentage HP damage, she has the knockback. She can 1v1 Aurelia. Even if Aurelia is fed, she should not just one-shot you unless she's 20-0. And
you can actually pick up the Nunu.
ooh, this
That
may
says
be
to me
interesting.
objectives. That says to me he doesn't want to lose the early dragons again. He wants to be getting these objectives. He wants to be pushing around the map.
This is actually very interesting. This because looking at last game, Kuknaik, he made some questionable calls, and his mechanics were not on point. They were not as good as I've seen them before. So going back to something like Nunu, where he pretty much just has to move around the map correctly, get objectives, and stand between his carries and opponents in the team fights, should work very well. We've seen him going around for dragons smartly sometimes. It's, for example, last game he had a moment where he tried to steal dragon where he really didn't have any chance. Well, at least Smite Consume deals more damage than just Smite. Who knows? But on a more serious note, as I said, less mechanically demanding, so even if you're, let's say it's tilting, it's not as big of an impact, you know. He still has this objective control, he can still zone out with his ulti. He's not the big damage threat in this game. Last game he was Kha'Zix, Ardent was Mundo. This game Ardent is the damage dealer and Krypnik is the tank. So he doesn't have the same pressure on him in any way. Tosaka should win mid lane, not just early game, but he should be winning mid lane up until the point where Fizz can one-shot people. If Tosaka gets a long-range stun off, he'll kill Fizz even if it's in late game. So Syndra is just a dangerous champion overall. Aurelia versus Maokai. If Aurelia gets snowballing in any lane, she'll just push you around as hard as possible, and you will not like it because she'll make sure that you take as much punishment. You cannot solo her. You don't want to gank her unless you have a really good situation and really strong champions. She may even turn it around and get a kill or two and get out. Bot lane should have to lane swap, in which case I wonder again, why do you pick a bot lane that has to lane swap when you pick Maokai? Maokai does well, yes. In this case he actually does better than the Aurelia, but he still doesn't farm as well as he'd want to.
And he was fairly bad at farming in that first game in the lane swap. So it makes me question.
To be fair, of course, it's less important in this case. Denying Aurelia farm and getting farm on Vayne, it's worth it. I can see definitely how it works out, and Maokai works better without gold. So then Aurelia does, so it may very well work out, but we don't know. It depends. It really depends on if Challengers in Disguise manage to pressure the 2 versus 1 more than they did last game, because last game they didn't really do anything. They didn't pressure the turret, they didn't freeze the lane either. They kept shoving into the lane and letting Mundo farm. If they do the same thing versus Aurelia, then
assuming they do go for the 2v1.
If they don't go for 2v1, then you have a Vayne versus Illusion. And that's a big no-no. So I'd be even more shocked if they do that, because
you never know, like, they might be a bit put off from last game. Remember, Keek actually, if you did not see it, Tosaka actually said in chat during last game, Keek tilt 2014. Which might suggest that Keek's on tilt, which may say that, you know, they want to take this game a bit slow.
I think that was more of a joke off as, oh, tilt master. However, he's not as tilting as hard as Challengers in Disguise are.
No, definitely not. They have to be so annoyed about throwing that lead last game.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it on them. I mean, there is nothing to say that they are not annoyed, that they are not frustrated, that they do not see this game as already. I mean, in their minds, they may very well go into this game thinking that they have the disadvantage. They probably don't think, oh, we're gonna lose, unless it's really bad, but they won't be confident.
Definitely.
Not nearly as confident as last game.
They have to be thinking, we had such a big lead. If we had such a big lead and we still can't win against these guys, and now Tosako's written on his Syndra, Wilmas on Lucian, Arden on an Aurelia. You've given them about 5 times better picks, and you like they have to be going in with this with a worse mentality than last game, definitely.
I think I don't even think you have to care about their picks. I have you don't have the confidence after that kind of game. I think we can both agree. Like getting stumped like that or losing an advantage like that, you just think, oh, what the fuck am I doing? If you look at the picks of Challengers in Disguise, all of their champions, minus possibly Janna, you have to be super confident about what you do. You can't W in or jump in with your flag toss and Q as Jarvan or Maokai and think, I may be doing this. You have to be confident. You have to say, I'm going in. We're going to engage. We're going to fight now. We're going to focus him. We're going to focus her. We're going to get the kills. We're going to move on. They may not be in that mindset. The same thing with Fizz. You can't jump in half-assedly with Fizz. You know, if you jump in to kill someone, you have no gap. You have no way to escape after you burn your burst.
So you have to make sure that person dies. I'm really going to be running into the Vayne there. But the no drink is actually coming out to see where exactly they are. Syndra Ball is landing onto Vayne. Elion, get the early poke down.
And also, the same goes for Vayne, to be fair. Vayne, you have to be confident about what you do. You can't, it's not like it's not a AD carry that you can just attack, move on from the edge of the fight. You have to go in and try to duel someone and single them out. I don't know if these picks will work out, to be fair. This may very well backfire really hard for Challengers in Disguise.
I hope not, because I want to see at least an interesting game. I don't want to see another stomp.
I wouldn't call last game a stomp, but the last game was not interesting.
Neither would I. Sorry.
Like,
I wouldn't call last game a stomp, but
it was
too many stomps.
Minions have spawned.
Last game. I think it was disappointing purely because they could have played it so much better. Both teams. It was sloppy. It wasn't even sloppy in the way that some sloppy games are really fun to play. You have lots of team fights. They're fun to play. There's lots of actions. This was just depressing. You had one team with a huge advantage, then just throwing it. And you were sitting there and saying, just go, just use the advantage, just take objectives. And they do nothing. And yet again,
on that easy CS right there.
And yet again, they go for the lane swap. In this case, they really have to do something more than they did last game. They have to punish him. They have to make sure that Arden doesn't get free
Second level 2
They are
gang by the Jarvan onto Tosako win. That would be the flash from both Fizz and Jarvan, and that's what they're planning to do about the Syndra. They're saying, no, you're not even going to get to level 2 in lane. You're going to get your Q, you're going to die because you don't even have your stun yet. Fizz actually going to be able to go back and pick up the crystalline flask. It's going to help him survive lane.
They actually did I was sitting here and I was afraid that they may not go ham enough. They may not have the confidence in these picks that they need after this game. And they just go in at level 2 and 1 and just go ham. 2 flashes onto Syndra and just say, kill her. She's going down. I want you to have an advantage. I want you to be able to get somewhere this game.
But do you know what's happened?
What has happened?
Look at Jarvan. You might not have noticed there's always stuff either you talking or the gang was happening. Something important about Jarvan. Jarvan, guys, his blue buff is currently on Nunu.
Oh, the level, yes, I love.
Nunu's about to get a 3 buff stars.
Cube Knight actually started at level 1.
At Jarvan's blue
But
buff.
at Jarvan's blue buff, I actually saw that. I didn't really connect what was happening, and then when you pointed out, you were all like, "Fuck." They took it away from Jarvan. They have an approximate timing on this, but this may end up hurting them much more than it should.
Jarvan does able to get his Spirit Stone because of a lot
And
earlier
thanks to this, the first blue buff from their own goes on to Syndra.
Yeah.
They do not even have to wait until 7 minutes. She can just try to put some pressure down with the spells and farm. She doesn't have to worry that much. She may be 1 kill behind.
Oh, the stun.
That's a beautiful stun.
Oh, and that's a lot of damage actually going to go down onto her Fizz. Remember, both members of Temper Chickens actually have a blue buff here, while only the Fizz actually going deep, but that's way too deep for your champion. But the EQ combo from the John actually landing, but that will be both mid lanes going down. That will be the Nunu picking up some help. The snowballs are too large for your brain, my friends. And that will be a 2-for-1 in the mid lane. Both junglers, both mid laners with a kill now. That would be Tasaka Rin. He's going to say Shino Asada. Tasaka Rin, 2 deaths. But Nunu has double buffs again.
This is...
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't?
No, he just has the red buff, which is like almost about the time out.
Okay, then... then Fizz, I assume, got one. I assume Fizz... Yeah, I think Fizz got Syndra's blue buff and then died to Ignite. But
I assume so, because Ignite has been used. Ignite's actually about to come up for only Wolfness.
at this point, we have to consider the fact that the Irelia is getting out yet again with more farm than the Maokai, and that's not something you want to see happen. She will... I mean, they're both of these champions. That's a third gank.
Only the knockup. That would be EQ from Jarvan. That is going to be
this will
backfire.
backfire. This will backfire. That's a kill. That's a teleport as well from him. That's a teleport from Adam mid lane. They should push it. It seems like they're gonna do nothing. Dragon? This may very well be the first dragon of the game. However, that was a strange gank. They went far too deep.
They could lose top. They're gonna lose top turrets.
They're gonna lose top lane, but they can just take dragon and rotate bot lane. It was such a deep gank by Snuggleton. Like there was no reason to jump in next to Tosaka's turret without vision of where Nunu is.
Pick that up. That is Fizz. Your opposition troll pole to get away from a snowball, which disintegrates into there because, you know, League of Legends logic.
Oh.
Nunu gonna be putting them. Gonna be putting a ward down to Jarvan's red buff. Jarvan red buff actually gonna be spawning like now. All of a sudden it's just spawned. It did just spawn. That'll be Nunu knowing the timer on that one when that's gonna be up. Jarvan is gonna pick it up for himself.
One thing to note at the moment is that both AD carries are not really farming perfectly, so to say. Both of them are losing out on a bit of farm, and I mean...
It's barely any, but still, you know.
They're switching back to a 1 versus 1 in the top lane and 2 versus 2 in the bot lane. I do not know about that at this point. Vayne is level 6, so she can very well fight Lucian. However, that she really has to all in if she wants to kill him. However, she has to build Flutter. Lucian has not been back once. So if they somehow catch him out, he's going back to recalling.
It's a very big push from challengers. No, from Temper Chicken, sorry. Down in this mid lane could look to just be absolutely nothing. That's what it's going to be. Everyone returning to their lanes and going back to this jungle.
I don't really know what I think about that. They should be trying to put some pressure on the lanes that they can. They do have a Nunu who can run in and put attack speed on someone, they don't really want to fight 2 versus 2 mid lane. It went well last time, but that was more because Challenges in Disguise misplayed it than because Tempered Chickens played it perfectly or because their champions are even. You also gotta remember the fact that the Vayne will start rolling soon. I mean, Vayne, I know some people...
Pretty sure she took her tumble at level 1. That's actually going to be the Syndra going in. Very big damage. The ult actually does come out from Syndra. The flash was unnecessary because he ignited on you. Even though that will be the shutdown onto Sakarin from the Jarvan. Up in the top lane, Irelia going massively low. Maokai is going massively low. Snowball too big. Not going to be able to finish him off. Maokai going very low. And he's going to back. And Irelia could very well get the turret. Even the TP is obviously considered via that. Even though that was allow Irelia to have a TP advantage for about 2 minutes.
That was... Just think about this. That was Tosaka in a 1v2 getting the kill on Wolfmas.
But that did allow Jarvan to get extra shutdown gold.
Yeah, they got extra shutdown gold, they got an assist as well, they got third, but if you think about it, if you just think about what that says about the situation currently.
Yeah.
It is not a healthy mid lane at the moment. Tosaka is going to start get rolling so hard soon.
This gas is awesome.
He already shat on.
It's gonna be Fizz going in. The Syndra. I think about 10 to 15 seconds left on this cooldown, so we should be very careful. But Jump the Walls is actually up in like 5. So.
If you're playing Fizz and you know that, if you really know,
that's actually going to be fresh. Doing a play. Vayne is mid lane. Vayne is bot lane, obviously. But that's going to be Nunu actually in the bot lane as well. With the amazing engage from Janna, being able to just allow just keep doing some auto attacks, and that's going to be no damage going down, except onto the Nunu, the gank. That will just mean that Syndra's down in the bot lane. Jarvan now joining them, but Syndra, you're slows. Will you be able to do anything? Does actually get knocked. The Cataclysm. That will be the Vayne match.
This is so strange at the moment. We're seeing so many fights going so bizarrely. The gank from Kutnai and Airmaster flashing in and forcing the flash from Vayne, yeah, but she gets out safely. She uses summoners, that's a downside. She doesn't get killed though, they get nothing from that. Then Tosaka goes in next to the turret from the Tribush, where they have no vision deeply. He's just
gonna be flashing in to get put back onto Irelia. Pretty unnecessary though, because Aurelia's just gonna be able to run out.
At this point, it's quite strange. I do not even know who I want to say is dominant. It's not like last game, where Challenges in Disguise were just far ahead and just them through. This game, who's winning? I really can't tell. 1 minute Tosaka's killing Fizz by himself while being ganked. Next minute, Tempered Chickens gank bot lane and they fail once, and then they gank again with another member and they die? Like...
Report to Sakarin feeding.
Is he... Probably, at this point, like, it's just going back and forth, and the only one who's dying is Tosaka. Tosaka, Snuggleton, and... the only ones who have been involved in kills... Kutnai and Tosaka.
Sakarin actually been involved in every kill on the map.
And every death.
Yeah. He's either been doing the killing or assisted with the killing, or has died. That's quite an achievement.
And he whiffs in the QE. That shouldn't be happening.
Temperature can still Dragon now. Yep. Pretty handily. Jarvan actually looking for the steal. You tried this as Kazakh. No. Oh, somebody tried this as Kazakh's game. Whoever was Kazakh's? I think it was Kiknik actually.
Yeah, it was Kiknik going for trying for a steal and just killing himself.
Yeah.
And that's as I kind of call, he's doing much better on
That
unit.
rally is doing a lot
Oh,
of damage
holy
now.
Christ,
SC team
that's
really
just...
scared. He doesn't have his Q up, so he will not be able to continue the chase. But that was a 100% health.
And that's pretty much why you would pick Irelia into Maokai. You have someone who can try to control him and make sure that he has problems farming and becoming this huge tank, and at the same time he can't really split push. He can't be alone top lane, because if he's alone, then Irelia manhandles him and she just kills him.
He's very close to being able to get his Lich Bane. I'm pretty sure he's there on his back.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And that's actually going to be the Lich Bane for the bit.
But going back quickly to Nunu pick, you see it working very well. Just as I said, I think a pick this time where he doesn't have to have the same kind of influence, he doesn't have to be the playmaker. Greg Knight can just go there, slow people, kill dragon, take objectives. If he dies, no one cares. He's a Nunu. He will be tanking, he'll be dying. If you focus on Nunu, then great, his team will just be saying thank you. He doesn't have any pressure. He's playing much better, much more calmly. He's moving around the map. He doesn't hesitate in the same way. And to be fair, at this point, the Vayne though is even ahead of Lucian in CS. And that's a dead job.
But I want to quickly touch on Nunu pick as well. With his Q, when he like eats a golem, he gets 10% extra health. From his Spirit of the Ancient Golem, he also gets, I think it's like 10 to 25% extra health.
From bonus health, not flat.
Yeah.
The golem buff is 10% on all of his HP. The golem when he consumes the golem, that's 10%. The Spirit of the Ancient Golem is 25% extra health.
Fresh flash for Vayne flash. Try saying that one 10 times fast. Fresh flash for Vayne flash. Fresh flash for Vayne. Doesn't work out too well. But no, Vayne finished her Blood of the Ruined King at this point. Lucian
Quite a
still
bit
working
ago.
towards
She's been running around with it for quite a while. Lucian himself could go back and finish his
Maokai! Run! Nobody's chasing you. Or is somebody chasing you? Yes, they are.
Purple team's turret has been
Are
destroyed.
you
this
gonna
point-
execute? Are you gonna execute?
He's gonna get away. No, never mind. He is getting flashed on. This may very well end up with a death from him. However,
That's a lot of minions.
Challengers in Disguise got bot lane turret, and mid lane turret has around 200 HP.
This Maokai's surviving quite well as well.
Think about the objectives at the moment. Bot lane turret was free. They didn't lose anything for the bot lane turret when they took it. And mid lane turret was pushed by SD Teemo, and it's a like 200 HP. Like they can walk in and kill that
Just
route.
like a Rin flashes now.
And that's a whiffed ult. That's a whiffed ult. The Fizz ult is down at this point. Keep in mind, he won't be one-shotting anyone in the next minutes.
Neither will. Well, Sakura still could, but he'll have a bit of a hard time escaping those flashes down after the Jarvan throws such a big breath. The CS differential in the top lane is quite big.
It's quite big, and it seems to be getting big about a minute. It was 30 CS a while ago. It's like 40 at the moment. It
It's
seems,
almost 50.
and I mean,
Yeah, it's
Arden
50.
Has formed. He has basically forced Teemo to delay his Rod of Ages.
Teemo?
SD Teemo. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say.
SD Teemo. Yeah. Yet again, don't blame me. He hasn't told me how to pronounce it. He may
Every
be.
time you say Kiki, by the way, your pronunciation of it changes. It's quite funny.
It's a phenomena.
It's a geek.
But at this point, there's quite the goal advantage for Tempered Chickens. 5k, they have the dragons, they have the turrets, they have the kills, they have the farm.
But sadly, they do not yet have the Nexus. Let's see if they're going to be able to pull that one off in this game.
I think at this point that Ardent should keep pushing mid lane while they 4-man group bot lane. It's kind of dangerous to go at the moment though. They don't have the teleport on Irelia while Maokai has his up. So you would have to wait for it a little bit.
Looks like it's got about a minute left.
About a minute left. Then you should start doing it. But I mean, oh, that's a catch. That's a good.
Will do actually going on. They will. The Irelia uses their Q's go here. Just to get a kill. So that's going to be like a 10-second window for Irelia. And then decides. Actually, we cause out the Jarvan. Jarvan's, you know,
they do have the vision. They do have the vision. Remember here, they are going for the dragon, but they know that challenges in the skies come. They can just, yeah.
That's a lot of damage going on to Fizz actually. It's like a fair himself.
It seems like they're
not going to be close enough for his consume. That will be a job being able to fight that one out. The Fizzles will actually catch onto the Thresh, but in the fight, Jarvan will be caught out on the threshold. That will be a massive lead. It was actually not hitting anyone though. SP Team actually going to be falling. Syndra doing work. That's going to be a free for all.
Wolf was getting away by a little bit of HP, just a speck of it. He jumped in, tried to kill. Was it Tosaka? Was it Arden? I wasn't sure.
I thought it was Wolf.
Maybe? He went in, no, because Remat was way too healthy. At least he went in, he tried to get a kill, and then he just got the fuck out. When it's 300 HP, he had cooldowns, he just said, I can't help. Because the rest of his team just get demolished, they can't kill the damage dealers, and they are not tank enough. And this Baron will go down. It goes down, it's secured. And that's a dead Fizz. That's a dead Fizz, no kills. Low health bars after the Baron as well, but they're not getting it.
No.
That's 2 kills in a Baron. I actually don't. I know I said this last game as well. That's why I'm kind of worried at this point. We said challenges in the skies. We said. Yeah. It was. Actually, the last game. We said challenges in the skies can't lose this. They have like 8k gold lead. Like, what can go wrong? And then they showed us exactly everything that can go wrong in one single game.
Well, it's almost an 8k gold lead. Let's see if Tempered Chicken's gonna show us how to close out a game. Could very well be, because Tempered Chickens, you know, Tosaka, he's got a pretty good reputation in the community.
To be fair, I also think they have a much better team to finish out the game. They have Lucian, who's much more self-sufficient. They actually have an AD carry in the mid game. I mean, even Osana, who's ahead, is not that scary when she has 2 items, so fight them. Lucian will solo anyone except for maybe Fizz at this point. They can just hook people. They just die. They have the pick potential with the stuns from Syndra and a hook to follow up. They can just pick off people at the turret. They can split push at this point, 1-3-1. They can 1-3-1. They
that
can.
Is that was a nice.
They just demolish. She's dead. She should be.
She has to be. She's gonna try and tumble away. But that's the second kill in the land.
This is. I think this is gonna be the finish. They cannot defend this versus 5 men with Ajana, Jarvan, and Maokai when they are already behind at this like this, and they can just take down the inhibitor. If they want to, they can just
challenge these guys. Yo, this is how you finish off a game. You push things, you get objectives, you win games, you take the Nexus. Generally, taking the Nexus has a direct correlation to winning games in League of Legends. Like generally, but might have to get in there like free time if that's actually true.
They are running around. I mean, like They're running around with Baron Buff.
Fresh going in, massive team, and Fizz is way
God,
out.
that is just a demolishment. They're not that healthy, but the only one who's slow. The only one who's low on Tempered Chickens is Nunu, who tanked the turret for half a year, and Fresh, who's the support.
Engaged.
Yeah, he engaged and he's the support. They don't really care if he's low. He can run around on 100 HP. If he takes an out attack that would go on Tosaka or Wiimote otherwise, then they are happy. And at the moment, they are sitting on an 11.5k gold advantage. They have killed the mid lane inhibitor. They have only one outer turret left to kill.
Do you think they should take it, or do you reckon they should just push the game?
I don't think they should take Dragon. There's no need to. They can just finish this outright. They still have... Their Baron buff is about to run out, actually. They can't use that much, but if you look at what they did with Baron buff, turret, inhibitor, pretty much an ace, another inhibitor, no turret, another turret.
Didn't take the inhib, quite. Still the inhib turret in the bot lane standing. It's
standing, but for how long? How much longer? That's the question.
I'm going to take a hint and say it's going to fall at within 10 seconds of 27.5 minutes.
27.5.
Yeah. What are you going to say?
Oh. I'm going to say they're not going to touch that turret and they're going to take top lane. They're going to take top lane at 27. I think they're going to take top lane instead.
No, I think they will eventually take that bot turret. But we just saw Maokai got caught out by Syndra. You've heard it all before, sort of thing. And that turret going to be going down. And they're going to take the boss inhib turret in about 2 minutes. So Lucian just going to be able to get a wave clear on. The Culling doing 300% damage to minions. It's
400% actually.
Yeah, I'm bad. 400%. Fizz not going to go in because he doesn't have a chance to, because yeah, that's a Cinderstone.
And there's really no one who can.
And Maokai flashed because he was with you at one point. That's top inhib going down. And it looks like they might even rotate bot just as well. That's actually the blade. Good flash, blade on. He's going to go down again. The Jammer just pop. Maokai pop.
And that's the game.
Damn. That is easily the game. There's no way of stopping this team.
I mean, at this point, like, Wiimote could pretty much one-shot people by himself. He has jumped on people, out-attacked them, queued out-attacked, and they explode. Like, there was no one who could take the damage that was output by Tempered Chickens in this game. Absolutely nothing. It was such a huge advantage. Like, I don't see what you're supposed to do in this kind of situation.
I don't see what you're meant to do against Tempered Chickens.
I think we may have to see someone either play extremely well mechanically or cheats them harder than we did and better than we did. Which
team comp. Maybe pull out a different type of team comp. Maybe do like 4 supports, 1 Master Yi.
Maybe some kind of team where everyone played Dota and they, instead of running usual lanes, they have like a 1-1-3 with a tri-lane. Like they have a safe lane in the bot lane going against 8 carry support, and then like 3 people top lane just killing the top laner all the time, just shoving down so hard that you can't handle it. I really don't see any other way at this point to defeat Tempered Chickens. It'll be interesting to see if any team develops to the point where they can beat them in the playoffs, because I'm going to go on a hint and say that Tempered Chickens will be in the playoffs.
I'm going to go on a hint and say that Tempered Chickens are not going to lose the game, officially.
It depends. I can see them losing to some team later in the league, like maybe the last or second last game when you have teams that have come together more, because I think Tempered Chickens are playing great, but look at the last game, for example. They are mortal. These guys are not gods. They are diamond. They are not LCS. They can be beaten.
That is inspirational to all Plas teams. Thank you very much for Masquerade for joining me. You've been amazing, Shoutcaster. I will have to work with you again. You have been absolutely amazing. I want to see some love in the comments below for Masquerade, my amazing Shoutcaster for today. One last time, guys. This has been Tempered Chickens versus Challengers in Disguise. I have been Gaffercake. I've been joined by Masquerade. You've been awesome. See ya.